Okay, some trust in this matter, and I'm going to trust this. And what does that mean? If there's zeros of this polynomial, it means the polynomial has two factors that I know about now, which is x minus 2 and x plus 3. I know they're the factors of that polynomial. What I don't know is what's over here, but this polynomial will factor, all right? So how do I do that? I'm going to do a long division. It's probably the easiest thing I could do. And I'll write that down for you. And I'm going to expand this guy over here, and that's x squared. Let's see, that would be plus x minus 6. And I'm going to divide it into this polynomial, which is 2x4 plus 7x cubed minus 4x squared. Let's see, minus 27x. It'll go smoothly, don't worry. So what do I get? I get 2x squared. That would give me 2x4. Then you're going to get plus 2x cubed minus 12x squared. Let's subtract. You can get 5x cubed plus 8x squared minus 27x minus 18. Let's repeat. Plus 5x. What do you get there? 5x cubed. Let's see. 5x squared minus 30x. Subtract. What do you get? 3x squared plus 3x minus 18. Repeat. Plus 3. What do you get over there? 3x squared plus 3x minus 18. I know this now. It's 2x squared plus 5x plus 3. What I'm going to do now, make some attempt to factor that. And what do you get? F of x equals x minus 2, x plus 3. And that's quadratic. It should be easy to factor. You can get 2x and x. I am going to say 3 and 1. And a plus. Let me just make sure that's true. You do get 2x squared. 2x and 3x is 5x. You get plus 3. So I'm going to commit to this answer. Let me get my red pen out and see how we did. 2x plus 3. Yep. X plus 1. Yep. X minus 2. Yep. X plus 3. Yes. The next thing he says, graph it using sign analysis. We've been doing this for some time, by the way. And I want to point out it should be relatively simple to do at this point. And looking at it, the original problem, the y-intercept would be minus 18. That's right there. And I got a bunch of roots. One root I have is 2. Another root I have is minus 3. Another root I have is minus 1. And the root over here, make sure you know what I'm saying about that. The root over there is going to be x equals. Let's take a look at that. That'll be minus 3 over 2, right? Which is minus 1.5. And that's right over here. Then what do? Basic sign analysis. And the sign analysis you're doing is on the this problem over here, or just looking at the factored form of it, this thing over here, all right? So it's a fourth degree polynomial. We know it's going to be positive in these directions over here. I do want to point out between these 2 points, I know it's negative because I got a test point already. That's a reasonable approach to it. Now, I realize it's difficult otherwise, but for the most part, pick an easy point. So, for example, a good test point over here would be x equals minus 2. Plug it in, what do you get? Negative. I'm plugging in here, by the way. Positive, negative, and negative. Overall, what do you get? Negative. So clearly negative when I test the minus 2 out. All right. Another good test point to choose would be, let's take a look. I'm going to do between minus 1 and minus 1.5. I'm going to say x equals minus 1.1. Let's plug it in. You get negative. You get a positive. You get positive. And then you get negative. And what does that give you? Overall, it gives you a positive value, which is good reasonable connection over there. Relatively simple. We're not expecting your graphs to look as good as a machine graph, but they should be roughly the same as what we're giving you, roughly, all right? What's tough to predict with your graphs is where these points are occurring, all right? And they're the relative mins, maxes. Actually, this one over here is a global min. All right, thank you for paying attention.